Max Roach famously punched Ornette Coleman in the mouth when he released this album, but the album still changed jazz forever. If you've been following the 1959 series, in part 1, Charles Mingus trusted his fury, in part 2, Dave Brubeck trusted math, and here in part 3, Ornette Coleman trusted something different. He trusted pure feeling. And based on reactions like getting blasted in the face, the jazz world truly was not ready. Coleman built his sound around 4 musicians. On alto saxophone, we have Ornette Coleman himself playing a cream-colored Grafton saxophone, which was made not from brass, but from plastic. This aspect alone was controversial, as the sound a Grafton makes is a bit of an acquired taste. On trumpet, we have Don Cherry, on bass, Charlie Haden, and on drums, Billy Higgins, reactive and conversational, never just simply keeping time. What made this quartet radical wasn't just who was in it, it was what they agreed to throw away. No piano, no guitar, no chordal instrument of any kind. Coleman called his approach, quote, Harmolodics, the idea that melody, harmony, and rhythm are equals. No hierarchy, no chord changes to follow, each musician as free as the next. For jazz in 1959, that wasn't just unusual, it was a schism between what was believed to be required and what was being played on this album. The reaction was immediate and extreme. Miles Davis said Coleman was, quote, all screwed up inside. Dizzy Gillespie said he didn't know what Coleman was playing, but it wasn't jazz. And Max Roach, who, punched him in the mouth, was among the most outraged. But not everyone agreed. Leonard Bernstein called it brilliant, and John Coltrane, one of the greatest saxophonists who ever lived, said playing with Coleman was the most intense moment of his life. I suppose you could interpret that a number of ways, but historically it is believed to be a compliment. And while I've called out a couple of the positive and a couple of the negative reactions, it was hardly split evenly. The consensus among most jazz musicians and critics was overwhelmingly negative. Of the 5 landmark albums in this series, 4 were recorded in New York City. However, Coleman recorded his in Hollywood, California. Even where he made the record, he was the outsider. And yet, The Shape of Jazz to Come is exactly what the title promised. If you want this infographic on your wall, a limited print of the full digital version is available now at BopDB.com, link in the bio. I've prettied it up for print, and I'm super excited about how these turned out. That was part 3 of 5 of the BopDB 1959 series. Stay tuned for parts 4 and 5, 2 of my personal all-time favorite albums.